This particular screencast is for principals, assistant principals, instructional facilitators, and even now mentors, as the role of mentoring has now moved to the EdReflect platform. The purpose is to model the correct steps to share evidence gathered during observations. This is one of the biggest places where teachers don't know how to share that evidence, and also principals are still struggling with ways to use that sharing of evidence to build capacity within their buildings. So you see here I'm at my dashboard as an observer. I'm in as an observer role, so it would look the same for whether you're a principal, assistant principal, instructional facilitator if you choose to use that role, and even mentoring. And you see I have scheduled an informal observation that I'm going to use as the base for our screencast today. So I'm going to click into that informal observation. And I'm going to click into that. As I go into the classroom, I am going to open that up into this notepad where I'm going to collect my evidence. Now, for the sake of saving time today, I've gone in and already I have typed in some evidence. So there's a couple of things that we need to know that we have the ability to do. First and foremost, if I'm a mentor or an instructional facilitator, I might want to go in and collect that evidence, but not necessarily tag it by myself. I might want to share that evidence by clicking the bottom right-hand corner, and that makes that evidence shared with the teacher or the novice teacher. Now that's powerful in the sense that the teacher takes on the role of tagging that evidence in order to better know and understand that rubric. Another option would be to share that evidence in the lower right-hand corner, and let's get together as a team and let's talk about that evidence and let's share it. Okay? So at first, I'm going to make sure that I share that evidence in the lower left-hand corner. And you're going to know it's shared when it changes to your notes are visible to the teacher. And I'm going to just, as a principal, I think you need to see what the teacher sees. So I'm going to show you my incognito window. And now I'm in as a teacher, okay? So I'm at the teacher dashboard, and this teacher is going to go into that informal activity. They're going to click on activities, and it automatically pops up. And look, they already see that there's something that was in there that the principal or mentor or instructional facilitator created. So they can click right into there, and they see the evidence that we see as a principal, okay? The next thing we said is maybe we get together and we talk about sharing that evidence. So I'm going to just highlight the first one, and I'm going to come over and I'm going to tag that evidence to the rubric. And I'm going to tag it for the sake of simplicity, 1A, so that we can find that later on, and come down here and save that. Okay. I'm going to tag the second one. I'm going to read that second piece of evidence, and I'm going to tag it 1B, and I'm going to save it. Now that's important. We've done our job, but however, the teacher can't see that you've taken that particular piece of evidence in the first line and the second line, and you've actually tagged it to the rubric. You see that you've got two pieces of evidence here, but first you want to make sure that you share what you've tagged. So I need to also remember to share here. So this is the second place that you need to share. I'm going to click share the evidence. Okay. And then I'm going to show you what that looks like on the teacher side. So now I'm going to refresh this. And you see, we see that, but guess what? They don't see anything. They don't see where you've tagged that. And you think, oh, I've got that tag for you. I want you to be able to go in and see that. They don't see that yet because there's one more step that you as the observer needs to do. You need to go up to collected evidence and click on that. You see that I highlighted the first line and I tagged it, and I highlighted the second line and I tagged it 1B. And now, in order for that teacher to see that, I have to go up here and say shared all of it. Once I share all of that, then now I see that there's a blue box with a check in it. All right, so now I'm going to go back into the teacher role so that you see that. I'm going to refresh. And notice when I refresh that now I see 2 pieces of collected evidence are there. And all I do is click there, and now the teacher sees, oh, there's a particular piece of evidence, there's where she tagged it, and it's been shared. Okay? So if I am an observer, there are actually 3 places that I need to make sure that I tag. So I'm going to highlight that one more time. First place to share is down in the lower left-hand corner. That just shares them what you collected as evidence in the classroom before it's tagged. Then, as I come over and highlight a piece of evidence and I tag it to the rubric, I want to make sure that I've shared it here. And lastly, I want to go into that collected evidence and I want to make sure that I see that. I can even edit it to clean up if I've got a misspelled word or it doesn't quite make sense. I can add a comment, and if I don't want to collect that evidence, I can delete it. And then I also have the option of sharing all of it, or maybe that's a piece of evidence that I want to see, but I'm not ready to have a conversation with the teacher about that. I can also unclick that particular box and it would be unshared. All right. Now, what does that look like and how does that help you as you go in to maybe rate that teacher? I want to show you where that shows up. And this is the biggest piece that most of our teachers and principals don't know. So I'm back in that same observation and I'm going to go into the ratings piece. All right. And also, I want to draw your attention to 1A and 1B because that's where I tagged the 2 pieces of evidence that I collected. I want to click on the right-hand side of the page where it's gray. And there you see the rubric pops open. But notice that my evidence shows up right here. So throughout the year, if you're correctly tagging evidence, and teachers are correctly tagging evidence on their artifacts, it lives and resides here in the ratings page, which helps you as the principal or any person in the observer role to make a better indication as to where they actually are rated on the ratings page. So I would read that evidence and then I would reflect on that using the rubric and then I would score it right there. I can even add a comment. Here's something else that you might want to think about. Maybe they scored proficient in every area except for this last piece. I could just highlight that out of the rubric, copy it, paste it right here. This is where I see that you are not or aren't proficient. And I can just add that comment right there. It builds power to the efficiency tool. All right, so let's go down to 1B, do the same thing, and you see there's the evidence that we've collected. Once I'm done there on that ratings page, don't forget, you need to share that rating with the teacher. So we're going to click share, and that makes that rating shared. So there it is. I'm the South Central teacher, and there's my rating for that particular piece of the rubric. And if I come down and I scored this one, it would show up. Let me show you one last time what that looks like on the teacher's page. So let me go into my incognito window, click right there into ratings, and now she sees where you scored her. All right. Now, I could even also have that teacher, maybe I don't rate her. Maybe I have that teacher look in here and they go, you know, I really think I was proficient on that particular area. I think I was proficient. So she can score herself proficient and she could add a comment. Now, on 1B, they can see that. So one more place where we're helping teachers to know and understand the rubric, which is going to build capacity in our classrooms, build capacity in our schools in order to have the most effective teacher in front of all of those students. You could have them look at the evidence and score. Maybe they think they were basic there. And then that teacher would actually share that so that you would see it. I hope you find this screencast useful, and I hope it helps you to unleash the potential that the efficiency tool EdReflect platform has for you, as well as for your teachers. As always, if you have questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact me at the co-op, 870-836-1609.